In the last episode, I finished the framing of the Homestead shop, and in this episode, Mrs. Rover and I take delivery of the steel siding and get it installed. We then start working on the inside of the shop as the days get shorter and the temperature falls. Now let's get to work on the roof. Step 1. Install a starter strip. Step 2. You can establish a perpendicular line from the ridge by measuring out a 3, 4, 5 triangle. This ensures that the finished roof will have a nice appearance. Step 3. Before putting the steel on the roof, measure out where the screws will go. Then transfer the marks across the steel with a straight edge. This ensures everything will line up. Finally, use a center punch to help ensure the drill bit doesn't wander. By stacking multiple sheets on top of each other, this process goes very quickly. Step 4. Install the steel.
Okay. Let go now. Okay. Gotta come up to you about a couple millimeters. That's it. Perfect. Right there. Okay.
This step goes very quickly. Step 5. Let's get those walls covered. Cutting steel. Firstly, measure accurately. Then mark a clear, straight line. Put a cutting disc in your grinder. Then cut to the line. Now let's get back to that wall. Mrs. Rover and I make quite a team. Last step, finishing off the fascia and soffit. So I'm inside the shop right now, and the shop is at lockup, meaning that the exterior is complete and it's weather tight. So the garage door has been installed, the windows are installed, the man door has been installed, and we are very, very close to having electricity in the building. The mast is up, and we're just waiting for the Maritime Electric, the utilities in this area, to come along and give us the hookup. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm framing this room. It's a 12 by 12 room. And the idea behind this room is this space only will be insulated. It'll also have quite a few plugs, and this eventually will become a heated workspace. But over the next year, or maybe a little less, this is going to be the home, the little mini home, temporary mini home for Mrs. Rover and myself. So our plan is, as soon as we get this finished on the inside and we have heat in here, then we'll start moving our household goods to the rest of the storage building. We'll set up a little kitchen and a couple of bunks in here, and then we will sell our house, or try to sell our house in Summerside, and then move in here temporarily while we build the Homestead house proper. Now, that project we won't be able to start until the spring or early summer on account of the heavy winters we have here. So we'll be most likely in this room for about 10 or 11 months, all depending on the speed at which the build goes. Currently, I'm working a full-time job during the week, and Mrs. Rover has a part-time job, so we're only able to move at a certain speed here. Okay, so today we are putting the insulation in. Now, over the last couple of days, I was able to get all the electrical work completed. So we have a number of 15 amp circuits here, receptacles, and a single light fixture, and a couple of 20 amp circuits in here if we ever want to run heavier pieces of electrical equipment. Secondly, as soon as we get this insulation into the heated space here, I'll be putting vapor barrier up over top of it, and after we get the vapor barrier sealed, then it's time to put the drywall up, and that's going to make a big difference in here. Drywall on the ceiling, 5/8 fire stop on the ceiling, and 1/2 inch drywall on the walls. Anyway, a lot of work to do today, so it's time to crack on. So today, behind the scenes, Rover's Rest has help. And to my right, I have my co-worker, Brian, and to my left, of course, Mrs. Rover. So Team Rover is ready to rock and roll on the drywall. Let's go, team. Okay, so we're taping up the seam between the vertical piece here and the horizontal piece, but we also have acoustical sealant. That's this black caulking that never hardens, and that acts as a gasket between the two layers in addition to the tape. The ceiling is now screwed up, as in secured to the trusses, and we're ready to move on now to the walls. Now we have the drywall up. I still have a few more screws to put in, but my crew did an excellent job. So join me in the next episode as we get our power hooked up and we finish the room off, making it habitable.